Welcome back to Opening Statements, and now to our spotlight. We're shining a spotlight on a very disturbing story that continues developing out of Ohio, where police are searching for answers after body parts were found in a Cincinnati neighborhood on Wednesday. Officials are now trying to determine if the remains are tied to the discovery of a dismembered body back in November. Now, while the discovery of these remains could be a major break in the case, the Hamilton County Coroner's Office there says that there's a chance that these body parts might not even belong to the same victim. Scripps News Cincinnati has more on the mystery.
I couldn't tell you if they were male or female.
But they're body parts, and crews found them Wednesday morning.
This is where the investigation continues.
The discovery comes after a renewed search for clues. Investigators hoping to find anything that might lead them to an identity of a young black woman dismembered and tossed away.
Obviously, this is a very disturbing scene.
That was on November 5th in a wooded area near Baltimore Avenue and Liddell Street. And there's few details about the victim. The Hamilton County Coroner says she was probably late 20s to early 30s, about 5 feet tall, with no scars, birthmarks, or tattoos. And she had been pregnant at least once.
We appealed to the public for help, and it's been over a month, and we really hadn't gotten many leads. So we're hoping that this will bring some closure to the case, and of course, this will take some time.
But Lakshmi Sammarco says if not closure to this case, perhaps to another.
Whether these body parts are associated with the body that was found November 5th or other cases that we're working on.
Sammarco says there's been several dismembered bodies in the county in recent years, and her team must now determine who these newly found body parts belong to.
It could be local or it could be out of state. We're not really sure at this point.
But if it is the woman found in November, it's now likely a national search. Cincinnati Police Captain Steve Saunders says his investigators have run down every lead, and she doesn't match to any local missing person.
We are working with the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations division to help look at possible genealogy, so historic DNA for the person that was located here, to see if we can maybe find information along that path. But that, to be honest, that takes a while to get that information back.
My goodness. Let's bring in our guests, see what they're thinking this morning. Still with me, law enforcement expert Sonny Slaughter and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Sam Braverman. I know you both have done a lot of reading and research into this case, and even though you're not working it personally, I'm sure you have a lot of valuable insight as to some of the questions investigators might be having in their minds and where they may be going with all of this. So, Sonny, please, would you start us off? What are you thinking this morning?
Thank you, Julie. What I was thinking about was several months ago, there was some bells went across. Oh, I can't even talk this morning. Several people on the internet were raising concerns about missing persons and persons of color, particularly in the state of Ohio. And as I saw the information, I reached out to a friend of mine because they thought that there were ties to human trafficking. While we are unsure in this particular case, I think I know the Attorney General's office was looking into it. Now we have the FBI. They're going to really be doing some due diligence, because if this is tied to human trafficking or a serial case, I'm not saying that it is because I'm not working the case, but if those are factors, what they're going to have to do is broaden the search, because that requires a movement and transportation of individuals who may or may not be missing and identified in the particular state. They may be identified in other places. So this is going to be an extensive workup of investigative prowess and skill to make sure that they can pull this together.
Oh, that's interesting to think that it could be that. Sonny, thank you. Sam Braverman, tell us what you're thinking this morning, please, and the questions that are coming into your mind.
Sure. So, as you know, in New York, we just recently went through the Gilgo murders, and they reached some level of resolution with an arrest. But for 12 years, 24 years, women have been disappearing in Gilgo Beach, in that area, and nobody cared. And they were prostitutes, and they were just discarded at the edge of society, and nobody cared. And there were a very, very small group of people who persistently pushed the investigation. And then finally, something happened, which was great. So what leaps to mind about this is the head that's found, let's be blunt and sad about it, the head that's found was either there a month and a half ago, or it wasn't. If it was there, they didn't find it, and they don't know if it's from the same person or not. So 3 possibilities. It was there, it's the same person, and somebody has disposed of parts in multiple locations. Second is it was there, it's a different person. And third is it was recently put there and it's unrelated to the first one and it wasn't to be found. 2 of those 3 lead to the idea that there's somebody out there doing multiple killings. What it also suggests is that the area was not properly scanned before, and it has to be a much broader than you would hope for, a much broader, much deeper dive looking for more body parts, because the body parts they found in the Gilgo Beach murders were spread over miles, over decades. But some of them had been there for so long, they should have been found before. And I think that's the level of depth we have to now move to. With the second find, we have to say, we're going to just scour every inch of ground for maybe a square mile and see if we can find something, because you need to know that. The officers, when they say there isn't a serial killer, maybe they don't know that, but a connection is, a coincidence is a connection you don't yet see. And this is a coincidence today, but it may be connected, and that's what we have to figure out.
Right, Sam. Boy, you got me thinking. That's a great comparison, the Gilgo Beach case. It really is. There's so much mystery, and how were things not discovered that seemed to be in plain sight. Here, as you were talking, Sam, seeing that video, and the police K-9 is working with the K-9 officer, and I'm wondering the types of resources they're going to employ for something like this. Sonny, would you speak to that, the kinds of things that are used by law enforcement to try to maybe find more body parts, or maybe identify a murder weapon or some type of tool used for the dismemberment?
Yeah, so the use of canines in this particular search is really, really important. So, and I'm sure that they don't have enough on hand. So they're probably going to have to do some outreach to other locations to get more dogs in that have the unique skill set of cadaver dogs to be able to find those bodies and to be able to look. Now, don't forget, you're thinking about dense territory. So even the use of the military, and because law enforcement, the number of people who are in law enforcement currently is not enough to probably do the type of search that Attorney Braverman was just talking about. So adding additional resources, the military and their unique skill set, bringing in equipment that can move the dirt and move around trees, and those who have a unique sense of search and rescue would be good.
Definitely. We'll leave it there for now, but of course, any updates coming from Scripps News Cincinnati, we'll share them immediately here on Court TV. Sonny Slaughter, you're going to come along with us into our next segment. Sam Braverman, we have to say goodbye, and a big thank you to you for all of your insight and expertise. Looking forward to having you back real soon.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, and thanks to my great panel. It's good to work with smart people.
It's been an awesome morning. I know. Yeah, we love learning on this show. That's what we do. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. And we're going to hit a break now, friends. When we come back, we're going to gear up for today's big hearing for defendant Karen Reed. Her defense team is trying to show the court that she is a victim of a police cover-up. But is she? The DA's office is doubling down that she killed her boyfriend, John O'Keefe.
Tonight on Court TV.
These are the big cases that everyone is talking about.
A lot of new developments taking place.
Shocking,
I know who killed John Bonet.
to say the least.